guys, good morning. So today I'm working on the containers that line the front of our barn. I'm getting ready to transition them over for fall, and they've done pretty well. I mean, you can tell the grasses are beautiful. In fact, I'm going to be leaving these in the container because I want to utilize these for fall. Sweet potato vine, I didn't trim one time, which I probably should have. It would have kept them looking a little bit tidier, but like the vines are just trailing everywhere. And then I've got a Supertunia white charm, Supertunia blue skies, and then a lantana called Lemon Zest in here. But you know, they are looking a little bit tired. They were set back a couple of times, once by budworms, once by aphids, which is very typical here. We took care of the problem, but I'm just ready for something fresh. So I just want to show you how I go about doing that. In fact, we're going to be heading down to the garden center later on. I'm waiting for a text message. They're supposed to get a new load of fall plants today, so I'm super excited about that. So the grasses, you can tell that the wind blows from this direction and it lays the grasses down on this side a little bit. So I'll show you how I stake them up and bolster them up. That way when we get more wind and rain, which is inevitable for fall here, it helps them stay upright for longer. So let me just show you how I pull out these annuals. There's nothing to it. I don't usually use any sort of tool. I just pull them out. And oh, look at that. I set a T in there at some point. So I know this is a little painful to watch, but we will replace them with really pretty things. It's pretty easy. They usually come out in one fairly nice size bunch. And then I'm gonna go through, clean up anything else that may be left, like, you know, I missed a branch here or there. There's a lantana. And then down here on the base of this grass, I don't really need to stake this part up. So I'm gonna pop these off, just like that. I mean, you can be pretty ruthless with these things just to clean up the base on this side. And the container, now that you can see what it looks like, I can't remember the name of it, but we'll link down below. We've had these out here for like 3 years, I think now, or 2 full seasons, 3 full seasons, I don't know. They fit really nicely right here. But you can see by just removing that little bit of grass from this side, we dramatically improved the shape of the grass all the way around. And now that gives me the ability to plant right down in here. Okay, so to bolster up the grass, this is also really easy. I have a bamboo stake right here. I don't know how tall that is. But you just want to make sure it comes up maybe like 1/2 to 3/4 up the height of your grass. So I'm just going to push this in the back. See it right there? And then I got to take my gloves off for this part because I cannot tie string with gloves on to save my life. I've got green twine, so it just kind of disappears. I'm just going to tie off to the bamboo stake and run a piece of string around the whole grass and then just tie it back off. So let me do that quick. All right, so I've made it back around to the bamboo stake, so I'm just gonna tie it off again. Okay, so now I'm gonna stand back and just make sure I didn't tie it too tight so it doesn't look awkward, and it looks really good. You can barely see the twine right here, and that just provides a little bit of extra stability for the grass, and it tends to make them look better for longer. So now what we're gonna do to kind of prep this soil is add some slow release fertilizer in. So I have these on drip. I've got 3 half-gallon, oop, there's one right there. 3 half-gallon per hour emitters in this container, and I never had to supplement water these all summer long. So I think that that was perfect. And I'm not gonna replace any of the soil at this point. I started with fresh soil at the beginning when I planted all of these initially. And in fall, the fall plants don't need quite as much to perform because the night times are getting cooler. We don't have to help them through any kind of heat stress. They don't grow quite as big either. So I find just adding in my slow release fertilizer and then following up and keeping up on my once a week water soluble fertilizer keeps the plants really happy. So this is what I'm using right here. I barely even measure this out anymore. I just give it a generous sprinkle along the top and just kind of scratch it in. Okay, so that one is essentially ready for plants. So now I just need to do this on the next 3. they're all cleaned out. I've got the soil prepped. So now I'm just waiting on a text from my mom to let me know if the load has arrived, and she hasn't texted yet. So it'll be a little bit. Hello?
Hi, hon.
Hey.
Hey, guess what?
What?
Our big, fall, beautiful load just got here.
Awesome. We'll be right down.
Okay.
All right. All right. Bye. So I don't know if they've put any of the load out yet, but it usually ends up all in here before it ends up in the nursery. Oh, there's a bunch of pretty fall things. So right away, I see all of these pansies, which this is something I do want to put in that pots by the barn. There's some really pretty colors here. I love this one. So this is called Persian Medley. Isn't that just fall right there? But this blend has lots of different colors in it. So, oh, not that one. Like this right here. So it's all different shades, but they're all similar and they're all complementary. They're really beautiful. And I also like to use like this right here. It's called Frizzle, Sizzle Yellow right here. But look at all these mums. This is so pretty. This is a gorgeous one. So this is called Morgan White. It's beautiful. It has a little bit of a blush pink or apricot, especially in the buds. Ooh, I think these I need to have. Matrix Solar Flare. Those are beautiful. This would look good up against our barn. Really pretty purples. This one's a mutant. Look at that. Can't decide if it wants to be light pink or burgundy. Of course, we've got the bright yellow mums. This is pretty. This one's called a Flamingo Neon Pink. Look how pretty that is. And these are really good size. So this aster grows 2 to 3 feet tall, 3 feet wide. Look at the blooms on it. I don't have any of these in my garden, but that would be a beautiful perennial to put in there. Something to be blooming right now. And then this is what I really, really want. So pansies and some ornamental cabbage and kale. Like this one's a kale called Glamour Red. Isn't that pretty? And that's a nice weighty piece for the container. There's some Scarlet Bor kale. These grow quite tall. Lemon Cypress. Got some Coral Queen kale. Those are pretty. Coral Prince kale. And what is this? This is Kamome Red. Kamome. And then Osaka Red cabbage. Okay, so I think what I'm gonna do is I need to grab a cart, I think, and start gathering stuff up so I can kind of see it all together. There's also some nice pansies up here. Some of the deep yellow. I like these a lot. Okay, now I gotta think about what I wanna do here. So I'm paying with a card today, but check it out. If you pay with cash, this is how we roll. Old school. All right, guys, check out what I got. The flat of Persian Medley, and then I added 2 of the Matrix Solar Flare because I needed 20 in order to have 5 pansies per pot. And then I got 3 of these cabbage. So there's 1 here and 2 here, and then 6 of these. So I could put 3 ornamental cabbage, or I think these are kale. Yeah, ornamental kale in each container. And then I thought it might be pretty to work in some lavender. So this is Hidcote Superior, and this might bring a little height and just a little bit of a different texture into the container. And then I thought for the hanging back, the window basket up top, because you can't really see anything like this would be lost. You wouldn't be able to see something short like that because you really have to look down at it. So I thought it'd be pretty to do like maybe 6 of these up there so that we could see the height, and then maybe some spiller plants like the Gold Child. And then I do have some Supertunias and things at home that I may mix in, like Supertunia honey and some Superbells that will trail over the side, and they're fresh. So we should be able to put it together with what I got here and what I have at home. Well, we've lost our shade. Everything's in full sun now, and it's supposed to cool off dramatically like in the next 5 days. So I think everything will hang on until it gets a tiny bit cooler, and then it'll start really enjoying its new location. While we're kind of standing back a little bit, you can see the window basket up there. I put 6 lemon cypress in there and some ivy in between, and that's it. And I think it's really simple, it's striking, and you really have to do just a thriller and a spiller. You can't really see into the baskets, of course, because it's so high, but I think it looks really pretty and clean, and that will actually go from fall to winter into next year, because both of those, lemon cypress might be a zone 7. It may not be hardy enough, so I might pop those out later on this season before winter really sets in. I'll double check that. But let me show you these containers. They kind of turned out like a mixed bag a little bit because I just put a lot of different stuff in there, but that makes it kind of fun and interesting. So I actually ended up running down and getting 4 of the Casper Kale, which is this light green one right here. And I don't know if it's better like to show you in full sun or if I should try to shadow it, but you can see how beautiful that foliage is. Just that really crinkly, curly foliage. There's a gold child ivy right here, flambe yellow. There's a couple of pansies, and then an ornamental kale on that side that's more purple. And then on this side, I've got a super tunia honey, a pansy. Look at the color of these two together. So that's so pretty. And then you mix in that flambe yellow. I think that's just such a pretty fall combination right there. Another ornamental cabbage. And then I did tuck some Superbells in the back, some Superbells Dreamsicle. So they're orange, and they may kind of spill out the sides a little bit. But I did start out by putting one of the purple kale up front, and it was just too dark. With how dark this fountain grass is and everything else, I just felt like I needed to have a little bit of pop of color right there. So I think it turned out really pretty. And you know, it kind of just goes to show sometimes you can just gather up a bunch of kind of random stuff, put it together and have it look pretty. It doesn't necessarily have to be balanced or using the same exact plants all the way around your container. It's just fun to just pack them in with a bunch of just fun stuff. So anyway, that is it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.